Basically, what autism means, it's a neurodevelopmental problem that affects children, and it goes all the way up to adulthood. And it is characterized by delays and deviation developments, more so communication, socialization, and they also exhibit some what we call stereotype behavior and rituals. Autism in Kenya, we are seeing a big number because if you look at 10 years ago, you'd probably pick one child in 1,000. But now we are seeing one child in 35 or 40. In some places, you can even pick one child among 25. So as we speak, every class of those little children in primary school, you're likely to get a child with autism. Why is the number increasing like that? Autism was related to challenges, or we call them perinatal insults. Insults can be infection, can be trauma, it can be a stressful period when the mother is expecting the child, goes through a very long stressful period. When a child is born, there is the monitoring of growth and also monitoring of development. What symptoms should the parents look for? The first symptoms, eye contact. When I am breastfeeding my child, can we establish a contact? That eye contact where I smile and the child smiles back is very important. We call it reciprocal smiling. The next one is, can this child respond to his or her name? And that name, the more we use it, the more the child starts responding to it. But usually by 6 months, the child can pick that this can respond to their name by looking or by smiling. Now, if it's a child who is walking and you call the child, this child should come up, look at you and come, approach, and maybe hold your hand or ask, why are you calling me? So that, for many of children with autism, they don't respond to their names. And those are the first signs that parents see, and they ask, is this child deaf or is this child having another problem? So they go to the ENT, ear, nose and throat specialist, to check if the child has a hearing problem. And when the hearing test is done, the child has no problem. So if the child has not spoken those first words, then you start asking yourself why. Because after getting the first words, the speech should increase from 1 to 2 words to 3 and a whole sentence. So sometimes we've had challenges when a child has not spoken, but the child responds to instructions. You can even send the child. So the other symptom that we look for is, can this child take instructions? And simple instructions is, take this cup, peleka jikoni, bring my bag, can you give me that object? Small errands in the house are very useful to determine whether the child can take an instruction. After that, then, can this child associate with peers? Because by the time the child is sitting at 6 months, then they get interested in other children. So if other children were playing as a group and you are carrying the child on your lap, the child would want to go down because they want to go to the group, because that's only natural. So if the child is walking or is crawling and is not interested in other children, then you ask why. Because we are all social beings. If the smile was not there, but at least the child is interested in other children. So we are looking for more symptoms. So if the child is interested in other children, can the child play is not just having the interest and standing there, but playing with the children symbolically. So if the child can play in an organized manner, giving each other turns, like it's your turn to do this, it's your turn to do this, and that is symbolic enough to say, yes, this child is okay. But if the child just is interested, goes to join other children and just stands there or just jumps, that is also a problem. So you ask for the quality of play. So beyond that, then we look for sleep, we look for appetite. Now sleep, every child naturally, when they are tired at night, should go and sleep. There is a significant number of children with autism who have serious challenges with sleep. In fact, they'll sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. And for you as the parent, you are up. You can't sleep when your child has not slept. On top of that, they have challenges with appetite. Very picky. Some tends to eat solid, more dry food, like rice alone, ugali alone, chapati alone. But if you put with some sauce, they'll not take. Now beyond that, there are other things that you will see where the child is not able to talk, but can sing very well, can hum, if they hum the whole day. Any small opportunity where the child is alone will just be humming, and can hum to music or not really. There are those who have good speech and there are those who have odd speech. Now odd speech, instead of referring to himself, will refer to the other person. You want to open the door, not I want to open the door. So reversal of pronouns. But as they go to school, things get better. Many of those who are hyperactive, the hyperactivity goes down. So it becomes situational or episodic. Or when they go to a new place, then you see the hyperactivity. They also attach. They attach to their parents. They can attach to family members. But they are very selective in those whom they relate to. And that goes on up to adulthood. But they can be wonderful. Wonderful in the sense that some are highly gifted. But I don't look at the gift, we look at what we call islands of special abilities. Where if the child is good in music, extremely good. If the child is good in drawing, you only need to look at my face once and you draw everything about my face. The first thing is make an early diagnosis so that the intervention is early. Then the first thing is occupational therapy. Occupational therapy is rehabilitative intervention. They subject them to activities related to what we call sensory integration, which means the children can hear, they can understand, but they are not able to act immediately. So the occupational therapist helps the child to understand all the stimulus that they are receiving so that they can respond appropriately. And then the rituals, like let's say with books, you'll find the child arranging books, arranging everything like that. Dare you touch it, then they'll throw a tantrum. Interaction with other children. And here we are talking of playgroup school. But in education, there is special education. We work with Kenya Institute of Special Education. So that when these children are placed in school, the education body knows that that child is there and it is good for the child to be there. So we advocate for normal schooling. not special schooling, and not at that age. Why? We want this child to copy the normal. Now, there are children who need medication. Then we medicate, but not forever. Especially those who are aggressive and those who are extremely hyperactive. Then we put on medication. And sleep. Those who can't sleep, then we give medication. So all stakeholders must work together. And it is my wish that every county, they have Education Assessment Resource Center. But they are not well resourced. But at least they are there to help to help place these children. Some of them are not working. So you'll find parents are traveling all the way to Nairobi to come and seek for the service.